Hello and welcome to English Passage, where English becomes part of your daily rhythm, one word, one question, one story at a time. I'm so pleased to have you here for day 11 of our immersive learning experience. At English Passage, we teach English by listening. Our videos are designed to help you not only understand English, but to feel it, absorb it, and remember it through structured storytelling and spoken explanations. Today, we are focusing on something central to all communication: asking questions in the present simple tense. Mastering the skill of asking questions is like unlocking a door to real conversations. Whether you are traveling, learning, working, or simply meeting new people, questions give you the tools to start and maintain interaction. In this lesson, we'll focus on two primary types of questions. Yes/no questions. These questions invite a simple affirmation or negation. WH questions. These questions ask for detailed and specific information. Our journey today is not just about structure, but about understanding the purpose and function behind these forms. We will break down each element, explain its role, and examine how it fits into the overall framework of English grammar. Let's begin by understanding what makes a question a question. Part 1. Understanding questions in English grammar. What is a question? In English grammar, a question is formally referred to as an interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentences differ significantly from declarative, statement, sentences in both function and form. While declarative sentences present facts or information, interrogative sentences are structured to request information or confirmation. The defining features of a question are the use of auxiliary verbs, such as do, does. A reversal in typical word order, verb often comes before subject. A rising intonation when spoken aloud. A question mark at the end of the sentence when written. Interrogative sentences play a vital role in communication. They are used not only to gather information, but also to verify facts, show curiosity or concern, initiate conversation, extend interaction, clarify misunderstandings. Understanding how to form and use questions correctly allows English learners to engage meaningfully in real-world conversations and written dialogue. Part 2. The present simple tense, a foundation for conversation. What is the present simple tense? The present simple tense is the most basic and widely used tense in the English language. It is employed to express daily routines, activities that happen regularly or repeatedly, general facts, truths that are always or usually correct, permanent situations, conditions or states that do not change frequently. This tense forms the structural basis for many types of English sentences, including both statements and questions. Components of present simple tense. Subject, the person or thing performing the action. Main verb, base form, the unaltered form of the verb. Third person singular modification, adding s or s to the verb when the subject is he, she, it in statements. In questions, however, we do not use the s ending, and this is a key rule we'll discuss shortly. Auxiliary verbs in present simple. To form questions, the present simple introduces helping, auxiliary, verbs. Do, used with subjects, I, you, we, they. Does, used with subjects, he, she, it. These auxiliaries serve as the structural tools for forming both yes/no and WH questions. Part 3. Yes/no questions in the present simple tense. Definition and purpose. Yes/no questions are closed questions that expect a response in the form of either yes or no. These questions are ideal when the speaker seeks to confirm, deny, or verify specific facts. They are commonly used in polite conversation, interviews, service interactions, and informal exchanges. Course structure: do, does plus subject plus base verb plus object complement. This structure introduces the auxiliary verb do or does at the beginning of the question. The main verb is always in its base form, regardless of the subject. Functional roles: auxiliary verb provides grammatical structure and tense indication. Subject identifies the person thing performing the action. Main verb expresses the action or state. Subject auxiliary agreement: do is used when the subject is plural or first-second person. I, you, we, they. Does is used when the subject is third-person singular. He, she, it. Important rule: when using does, the main verb must not carry the s suffix. The agreement is already contained in the auxiliary. Practical applications: yes/no questions are used to confirm habitual actions, to clarify present conditions or facts, to engage politely and directly. Part 4. WH questions in the present simple tense. Definition and intent. A WH question is an open-ended question that starts with an interrogative word. These words introduce queries that seek detailed responses. Unlike yes/no questions, WH questions cannot be answered with a simple affirmation or denial. List of WH words and their grammatical roles. What? For asking about objects, actions, or information. Where? For asking about place or location. When? For asking about time. Why? For asking about reasons. Who? For asking about persons. Which? For asking about choices between options. How? For asking about process, condition, or manner. Standard structure. WH word plus do does plus subject plus base verb plus object complement. This construction includes 1. A WH word to introduce the question and determine the information type. 2. The auxiliary verb do does, chosen based on subject agreement. 3. The subject, who or what the sentence is about. 4. The main verb in base form. Structural consideration. The WH word functions as an interrogative marker that shifts the sentence from a yes/no format into a descriptive one. The auxiliary verb continues to provide the grammatical support, while the subject and main verb deliver the action and context. Special exception: WH word as subject. When the WH word itself is the subject of the sentence, the auxiliary verb is not used. Correct: who teaches the class? Incorrect: who does teach the class? This exception reflects a direct substitution of the subject with the WH word, eliminating the need for inversion or support. Practical function. WH questions serve to elicit explanation or elaboration, prompt storytelling or detailed answers, encourage further discussion and engagement. Part 5. Extended story. The Curious Roommate. Arav had just moved to Pune to start a new job. He found a modest flat near the metro station and moved in on a humid Saturday afternoon. He didn't know anyone in the city, but he was optimistic. The flat came with a roommate, a cheerful young man named Ravi, who worked at a publishing company. Ravi was naturally inquisitive. He loved to ask questions, not to pry, but because he genuinely liked to learn about people. On his first evening, as Arav unpacked, Ravi knocked on the door. "Do you like tea or coffee?" Arav smiled. "Tea, especially masala chai." Ravi came in with a cup. "Where do you come from?" "From Lucknow." "What do you do?" "I'm a software developer." "When do you usually start your day?" "By 7 a.m., with yoga and a walk." The next morning, Ravi was already in the living room, reading a newspaper. "Does your job involve coding all day?" "Yes, but also a lot of problem solving." "What kind of apps do you work on?" "Mostly healthcare and finance platforms." Ravi nodded. Why did you choose software development? I enjoy building things that help people, Arav answered. Ravi asked many questions over the next few days about Arav's studies, his favorite foods, his hobbies, and even how he celebrated festivals. Arav, initially reserved, began looking forward to these conversations. By the end of the week, Arav asked, "Do you always ask so many questions?" Ravi grinned. "Only when I want to understand someone better." And in that cozy apartment in Pune, two young men became friends, thanks to the power of simple, sincere questions. Part 6. Analytical Reflection, 5 to 6 minutes. Let's reflect on how present simple questions functioned in our story about Arav and Ravi. Yes/no questions. These questions were used to confirm facts about preferences and daily habits, such as, "Do you like tea?" They helped Ravi learn quick details about Arav's life. In everyday conversation, these types of questions keep things flowing smoothly. They allow speakers to introduce topics without demanding complex answers, which makes them perfect for new or casual interactions. WH questions. These questions gave depth to the conversation. Ravi asked, "Why did you choose software development?" This prompted Arav to share a personal reason. WH questions are powerful. They invite stories, details, and emotions. They make the speaker feel valued and heard, which is essential in building connections. Grammar for relationship building. Using correct question forms shows thoughtfulness and care. It tells the listener that you are truly interested in their life. In the story, Ravi's consistent curiosity and proper grammar created a pathway to friendship. When grammar helps you. Part 7. Reinforcement through listening and guided practice. Let's now practice some present simple questions. Listen carefully and repeat after me. Do you live in Pune? Where do you work? Does he enjoy tea? What do they do on weekends? Why do you like reading books? Now try this. I'll give you an answer. You think of the correct question. Yes, I do. I walk every morning. I come from Lucknow. She works as a doctor. Pause and say the questions out loud. This is active recall. It strengthens memory and speaking skills. Practicing this daily builds fluency. You can even try asking yourself questions in the mirror or practicing with a friend. Use these questions in real life and notice how people respond. That's the real reward of learning English. Well done, my dear listener. Today, we explored a powerful part of English conversation, asking questions in the present simple tense. We broke it into two clear types. Yes/no questions for confirmation and quick replies. WH questions for deeper information and interaction. Through theory, structure, tips, and a story, you now have the tools to start and carry a basic English conversation. But remember, this is not the end. Language is not something you memorize once. It's something you live, speak, hear, and repeat. Keep listening. Keep asking. Ask the world. Ask others. Ask yourself in English. If you found today's episode helpful, like, subscribe, and share it with others. Come back tomorrow for day 12, where we'll continue our journey with even more storytelling and essential grammar. Until then, this is your guide from English Passage, saying, every passage is a path to fluency. Walk it, one story at a time. Goodbye, and see you next time. Jai Hind, Vande Matram.